You wake up and it's already there, before your feet hit the floor, before you even open your eyes. A heavy, irrational dread hits you right in the chest, warning you that something is terribly wrong, even when the room is perfectly quiet. This map visualizes a quiet, global epidemic. Each of these glowing points represents a real human being. Right now, 359 million people worldwide wake up carrying that exact same physical panic. If you grew up in a faith community, you've probably heard the standard advice: just pray it away. Or worse, perfect love casts out fear, so you must not have enough faith. That kind of well-meaning commentary does not remove the anxiety. It adds a crushing layer of shame. The actual historical texts tell a different story. David wrote extensively about his heart racing and his mind failing. Paul documented severe internal distress while in prison. Jesus himself experienced physical anguish so intense in Gethsemane that his sweat fell like drops of blood. These records document acute physiological stress. Chronic anxiety is a deeply human experience, a biological response to a heavy world, not a measure of weak spirit. To compensate for the shame, many adopted dangerous camouflage. They lead the small group, volunteer for every event, and always smile warmly. But beneath the performance, the edges are blurring. They are running entirely on adrenaline and terror. That level of performance inevitably leads to the midnight collapse. You find yourself sitting alone in the dark, completely depleted, hands shaking, unable to keep the facade together for one more hour. Admitting defeat on the kitchen floor strips away the secrecy that fuels anxiety. When you finally stop performing and say, "I am terrified," out loud, you move from managing an image to addressing reality. Masking a panic response with religious busywork cuts you off from the exact support you need. It keeps you sick and keeps you entirely alone. Your nervous system evolved as a survival alarm. When an ancient human encountered a predator, a specific neural pathway fired. But the system has a flaw. It highlights the amygdala at modern stressors, immediately flooding your system with cortisol. Once that rapid chemical flood enters your bloodstream, your heart rate spikes and your breathing shallows. You cannot outlogic a biological response with willpower. This is a malfunctioning alarm system, firing wildly without a predator in sight. It is signaling a body that desperately needs intervention and care. The body's natural countermeasure is the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for rest. When you engage in contemplative prayer, the restorative response pulses outward from the brainstem, actively neutralizing the stress hormones currently trapped in your chest. Ignoring the panic or berating yourself for feeling it keeps the alarm ringing. Grounding yourself in quiet presence forces the alarm to shut off. Bringing your exhausted mind to God serves as a precise physiological intervention. It actively alters your body's chemistry to manufacture peace. To reclaim your nervous system in real time, you need concrete anchors. First, name the specific fear out loud. This brain cross-section shows exactly why naming works. Identifying the emotion forces your prefrontal cortex, the logic center, to engage. It literally sends a suppressing wave to shrink the overactive panic center. Second, interrupt the catastrophic spiral of what-ifs. When your mind races toward the worst possible outcome, grab onto one undeniable fact. Remind yourself that you have survived every single difficult day you faced so far. Third, regulate your breathing. Slow, measured patterns, 4 counts in, 6 counts out, stimulate the vagus nerve to signal physical safety to the brain. Your brain needs proof that you are safe. These physical interventions provide that proof, giving your nervous system the required permission to finally stand down from high alert. Fourth, drop the performance. Shift your prayer life away from formal, curated requests. Come as you are, raw and terrified, and treat it as a genuine, unfiltered conversation about your fear. Finally, break the cycle of isolation. Find one safe person who will sit with you in the discomfort. You don't need someone to quote scripture at you or offer a quick fix. You just need someone to prove you aren't alone. You do not have to carry this heavy, silent burden in secret anymore. There are practical tools available right now that bridge the gap between mental health and genuine faith. You are not built to live in a constant state of exhaustion. Reclaim your peace today by downloading the free 7-day Mind Renewal Reset in the description and dive into our curated reading list to start the real work of healing.